Hey, Ringside family, what's up? It's the Queen of RSM, Rose, here with you, and we have an amazing episode for you coming up. So, what we are going to do is have a bomb interview with you. It's not just going to be by me alone. We're actually going to bring you another episode of the LR Room. So, you know who else that includes? Mr. Analytics, my boo, my king. Come and join the queen. Let's get it started.
What's going on, Queen? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
What's up, cutie?
Hey, stop. Calm down now. Calm down. Goodness.
You know I always got to bring you in.
I
Like
know. I appreciate it.
I make
But
good choices. The
yeah.
queen knows how to pick them. You know what I mean? I
Hey, no
I said
complaints
yes.
here.
Right. I said yes. You know, like I said yes, yeah. Oh, I'm not wearing my ring today, but
Yeah, I was like,
oh, I said yes.
yeah,
You
but you
know,
did. That's facts.
I did. In front of everybody. Our mamas, our daddies,
Mm-hmm.
cousins, aunties, the whole 400 of them.
Yeah, it was a lot.
But tonight, man, I am excited. We have a great interview lined up. What do you think? Are you excited too?
Yeah, this is gonna be good. I'm definitely excited. We bring in one. I'll probably say one of the biggest rising stars in PCW right now. She's a game changer. I'm just excited to have her on. Let's get to it.
Let's go. Y'all know how I already feel about women's wrestling. I'm excited to have her on. I've seen her in person. You know what? Let's just cut away with the preliminaries. Let us bring her in, have her introduce herself. Miss Danica, how are you, girl?
Hello, I'm doing great. And like you said, I am the upcoming rising PCW
That's
Ultra
right. Yes,
Woman
yes. Rep that
Champion.
belt. Rep that
So
belt one
I'm
time.
feeling great.
Yes,
Nice,
as you
nice.
should. And you know, that's not the only beautiful gold assortment you have on your shoulder, girl. You have two more back there that I am peeping, that just look oh so beautiful. Go ahead and announce those as well.
Yes, I do have I actually just won this one. Oh, it's on this side. My Midget Wrestling Warriors Women Champion belt. And then I also have my Lucha Libre Volcanica Women's Wrestler belt. So that's a total of three.
Yeah, hashtag
Viva.
belt collector. I was gonna bring
Yes,
that up.
yes.
I was like, it's tied 3-3.
Oh,
That's going.
And
yes.
that's not the only time I faced Viva for a belt. It was for this belt. So
Right.
I feel like that's two belts I've taken from her.
Oh, well, it's time
Woo.
to collect.
I love this collection. I love the back
Right,
and
right.
forth. I'm here for it. Danica, so let's get into these questions, girl. Our listeners want to know all about you, who you are, where you're from, what you're about. So here's my first question. What got you into wrestling? What was your biggest inspiration?
Yeah, I think my biggest inspiration was actually starting amateur wrestling. That's what introduced me to wrestling in general. And it was just something that I was really good at. It was super fun. It was very aggressive, more of my type of style. And then later on in the years, I just decided to try something either I loved or go to college. And so I started wrestling, and that's how I just fell in love with it. Started training. I loved how my trainer taught me, and I just went from there.
Ooh, I'm kind of aggressive too, but I think I've passed my prime to get into the squared circle. I'll just be a spectator.
No, no, I don't think anyone's
I'm
past
like,
their
yeah, I was gonna
prime.
say there's no specific prime to this.
hmm
That's true. That's true. The people that started when they're like what 41 in their 40s. So I still
Mm-hmm.
got time. I still
Got
got time.
time.
I feel like that's your prime.
True.
Hey, that's true.
True. Once I started taking all these supplements and stuff, I feel brand new.
Well, Danica, my question is along that line. You did, but it's been a few years since you've been in wrestling. How did you get started at Buddy Wayne at your school? How did you end up finding that, and like, what's the impact that it's made on you?
Yeah, one day I just Googled wrestling in
Hmm.
Washington, and that was one of the first schools that had popped up. And so I emailed Buddy Wayne and he emailed me back. And actually, that was, I think, in 2015. And I decided not to start yet. And then I came back to it, went there, drove there, and it was pretty funny. It was very sketchy to me because it was in Buddy's garage at
Oh,
his home.
okay.
So I thought I was going there to get murdered or something. I was really worried.
I would have been worried too. I'd be like, I don't know.
I would have been like, this ain't right. Is this the
Yeah,
right spot? I've been looking behind my shoulder, like, what's going on over here?
yeah. You think of wrestling and training, and you think of a building or something. I don't know, like something like that. And it definitely wasn't that, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's definitely like a family business and experience, and they just take you in and train you. And as long as you are doing the hard work and listening, then that's all that matters.
That's awesome. And we know that they gave you a great foundation. I mean, for just, your first school going into that, I mean, did that lead you into your next training facility with Knox Pro?
Actually, Buddy decided to try some lucha with me, and we did one thing, and he's like, I think lucha would be a great fit for you. And he started taking me to. It was the only lucha school in Washington, Lucha Libre Volcanica, and he would actually go with me, sit there at training, and make sure I was safe, like every time I would go there. And that's the second school I had started, and then in 2021 or 2020, I can't remember. I think it's 2021.
Pandemic, girl. Those years.
Yeah,
These
they
years are
merged.
mixed.
They merged.
Yeah, but I actually Viva had put me on to Knox Pro because everything was shut down still. Buddy Wayne Academy was shut down, and I felt like I was getting, oh, my cat. I felt like I was getting left behind, and so I took her up on her offer and went to California and started training over there at Knox Pro with Rikishi and Reno, and that was one of the best decisions I have actually made.
Oh my goodness. I'm so jealous. Like, how is Rikishi in person? Like, I want to meet him one day.
Yeah, you definitely get a little starstruck at first, but you just push that aside. He's just like every other, like a normal person, and he definitely puts in the input. Whether you want to hear it or not, it's stuff that you need to hear, and that's exactly what I need. I think that's what students need as well. It's just it's also it felt a lot like Buddy Wayne Academy, him just reassuring a lot of the things that I had already learned or done, because a lot of time the business is cutthroat, and you're
Mhm.
here with other workers and they're trained a different way, and sometimes you feel like, am I trained the right way? And then to hear it from another, from a legend, the way that he's training everyone, it just reassures me that I'm in the right path.
That's dope. That is dope. So along that line, so you did mention lucha. How did that come to be? Like how because to me I feel like that's probably one of your favorite styles. But that's just my personal because it's one of the matches that I have seen. I know that it just seems so natural at it. Like what drew you to lucha libre?
I think the fast pace, the acrobatic, flippy stuff, feeling like you're superhuman. So you have like, so it was definitely a different style than the American way, and you have to learn everything the opposite. So it was a
Mm,
little
okay.
hard because I was training American only for 6 months, and then
Hmm.
I started lucha, and so I was still at the beginning, so I had to remember, okay, when I come here it's this way, when I come here it's the opposite way. And then sometimes I'd go to lock up the wrong way at both schools. So it was a lot of information to take in, but I'm glad that I
Hmm.
learned it at the beginning, because now it's just like that. It's so easy for me now.
It's like second nature.
Hmm.
Love it. I mean, using that style and you being as versatile as you are and adapting to that, do you think that is what cinched that win for your first women's title?
Yes, because a lot of people don't know both styles.
Hmm.
Um, and it makes you more open to things, and it opens a whole nother world, really.
Mhm.
And it helps with I feel like with everything, you can just adapt to anything, any style. And Japanese and lucha is very familiar. They are like similar. They
Kind
can
of similar,
understand
yeah.
and work with each other.
Right.
So I think that was like the best move that I could have ever made.
Indeed. I mean, I'm starstruck. We've seen you in person. For my first ever PCW event, that was crazy. Um, we almost had men land in our lap twice, uh, which makes us want to go back, and we are
Yeah.
going to go back. Right, May 13th, a new beginning. We will be there. Um, but let's take a break a little bit from the training and just winning and conquering championships to I like to ask our guest, how is it that you calm your mind once you're away from training, once you're away from the ring? What are the activities that you do to practice self-care just to get you to de-stress and decompress if just for an hour?
um, um, More so when I was injured. I don't when I'm not injured, I don't do anything but wrestle.
Okay.
Or relating to that, I would go to like the trampoline park for fun with a group of wrestlers, and we'll practice our flips there while also getting some energy out. Um, and then I love actually tanning because I love to sleep, and that's what I'll do there. I'll go there for a nap
Okay.
and come out
Okay.
tan.
I guess because you're in that little like cocoon thing, right? So you just kind of like
You
everything
just
shut
zone out.
out.
Yeah. Yep.
You get to just
Yes, yeah, I do it's actually called the cocoon, and it's like a sauna bed. You put like two bags over you, you
Mm-hmm.
have your ear pods in, and you just sweat in there. And I do that for 30 minutes. Then I'll do the red light, which works on the wrinkles with like age spots, with just about everything you can think
Okay.
of. And
ooh.
then I go and do the tanning bed, and so I get to sleep in like all three of them.
There you go. So you get to be well rested.
I think I
Well
just need
rested.
to go to one of these, but I'll be like, don't turn on the tanning function. Just put me in the cocoon so I can sleep.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. That's dope. So obviously I know you did bring up your injury. How did you get through that? Because in wrestling, and we see it all the time, but like, how much mental fortitude did you have to go through just to kind of get over that and say, you know what, I'm going to come back? Because I know there's many wrestlers that get injured, and a lot of them don't come back.
hmm Yeah, that was really hard, and it was actually pretty funny because Reno had actually, like, I think that week or the week before, had talked about injuries and
Hmm.
saying like it's gonna happen. Um, like whether you like it or not, it's always by the stupidest thing or an accident. And same thing at Buddy Wayne Academy, they're talking about injuries and saying how it's gonna happen as well. And yeah, it happened, and I was devastated. I knew exactly what it was because I had torn my ACL before, but in middle school. But I knew
Hmm.
the exact feeling, and I ended up still doing, because I was it was the first day of a tour, and so I still ended up finishing the tour and doing about
Wow.
8 other matches.
Wow.
Um,
Hats off to you. That's bold. That's crazy.
but I mean, like, I trained for it.
Right.
Buddy would always tell us like that we would have crazy things to where, okay, let you guys have a match, no bumping, their backs hurt. Okay, the ropes broke, have a match without hitting the ropes. So we would work on things
So you'd
like that.
adapt.
So I felt like I was ready for that, or at least I could work around it because I didn't want to stop yet. um, but yeah, I ended up calling my coach, ended up calling my family, talking to
Hmm.
them. It came close to a point of where I felt like I would come to quit,
Hmm.
or I didn't like. It was just all these emotions because of my age, and me being worried about maybe I can't recover from it, and maybe um, maybe I want to like move on with life, but that was like probably the hardest time I've ever been through. My family, luckily, my family was here for me. They helped me a lot. They helped me walk to the bathroom. They helped change me because I was in so much pain. They helped
Right.
give me the drugs because I needed it. So
Yeah.
thankfully, I had a support system. It would have been really hard without having that support system, but I definitely did not watch wrestling, go to any events when I could walk. Yeah, there was a point where I couldn't even walk. I had to use crutches, and that was really hard. So it's just like having to start all
All
over.
over. Yep.
Uh-huh.
I bet. I mean, as a former CNA, I empathize with you because I've had to help a lot of clients push through injuries and just knowing the day to day recovery. It's not glamorous. So,
Mhm.
my hat's off to you for getting mentally through that and kudos to your family for, encouraging you through that because it's not easy. It's
Not at all.
during your hardest times when you realize who's really there for you, you know what I mean? So I'm so happy you had that support system. Um, so I'm gonna ask this other question.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, what is it? Oh my gosh. That
No,
was intense.
I'm trying to get my mind around. I told y'all one time the host, I kind of just like, you know,
Yeah.
so, it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad. It's nothing bad. So we know your opponent that you just beat for the PC Women
PCW.
Championship. Yeah. What did I say?
PC women, but it works. It
I mean,
works.
you didn't know what I meant. I'm
Yeah, I knew.
sorry.
I had to help you out. I had to
Come
help you out,
on.
I need to get it together, Rose. Get it together. Oh my God. So your opponent that you just beat for the championship, Viva Van. Um, how is you guys' chemistry? Because in the ring, it is off the charts. Out of the ring, I'm sure it is awesome because of that said chemistry. So, what's you guys' background?
Yeah, we are really good friends, and we definitely elevate each other to the next level. And that's why I was glad to have a match with her, and grateful that she had took it, even though I'm injured.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because a lot of people are kind of scared to touch you when
Mm,
you're injured,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not what I wanted. And I was glad that she understood that I was there and I wasn't going to treat her any differently than I would have Rebel Kel, than I would have Kikyo. Like,
mm,
regardless if we're friends, this is business. And I wanted her to give me her all. So then when I did beat her, I could say, I beat you at your best.
At your
And
best.
guess
Yeah.
what? Like, I'm not at my best and I still beat you. So it makes it even better.
Yeah, there's a little burn right there. I
Woo,
appreciate that.
woo, woo.
I love it.
Okay, that's dope. So, you said Viva actually helped you get into Knox Pro. Like, how did that come? Like, was it just a conversation you guys had, and she was just like, "Hey, come out to Knox Pro"? How'd that be?
Yeah, literally that. We were just talking, and she had kept mentioning Knox Pro, and so I decided to go do it because I felt like I was getting left behind in the wrestling business. Washington was just like on hold, but everywhere else was just go 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 go. And
Mm-hmm.
so I just took it. I got a plane ticket and I went over there and just started training every week. I'd fly over there, train, come back, go back, come back, and it was just like a machine over and over.
Okay. So you did. So I know you are based in Washington. What is the wrestling scene out there? Because I mean, like you said, you had to come to Cali. You talked about Buddy Wayne being shut down. Like how big is that? Is there a growth? Is it kind of stagnant? How would you say it is out there?
Yeah, it definitely is a bigger business now. I feel like there's only about two, three wrestling promotions here, and now there's an abundance of them, maybe like five to eight
Oh
of
wow,
them.
that's
There's
a big growth.
a
Right?
pretty good amount of them, yes. So I'm glad that I got to be able to witness it and grow through it, and watch it, because I don't know that a bunch of wrestlers get to see that, or like I got to appreciate it more when I was injured because I got to sit back and just watch everything.
Okay. And I got another question along those lines. So, in women's wrestling right now, how do you feel? Do you feel like it's in a good place? What would you want to see to make it better, or do you think it's good where it's at?
I definitely think it is growing, but there is very, very few women in Washington, at least.
Hmm.
I see a lot more women everywhere else, and I see it growing. But I definitely would like a women's tournament here somewhere, or two female matches, or and I don't want it to be, because a lot of times it'll be where it's harder for men to get bookings because there's so many of them, but then
Right.
women can always get a booking anywhere. So I don't want it to be where they just grab women. Women just they start training for a couple months and then go out there and they just throw them out there. No, I want trained women. But I also like, it needs to be put out there for them,
Right.
um, in a way, because outside of wrestling, I think it's hard to know there is wrestling. Like if you're not looking for it, and I don't know how that should be promoted on TV, or like how else like women can see that they can do something like this, because I had to Google it. I've never seen anything else about it in
Wow.
Washington. So I
That's
wish it was just more available to the public outside of wrestling.
Okay.
That is very true. For me, I probably never would have known about wrestling if my dad wasn't a fan. I probably would have had my heads in the clouds and not know how to channel this angst that I had. I wasn't always the girly girl. I was the shy, quiet type, but I had a mean streak about me. I was like the tough girl growing up. Everyone,
Uh-huh.
right?
I knew that was going to
I
trigger
see
you.
Right?
that.
Like, be careful of the quiet ones. And it was true with me. They were like, don't get Rosalind mad because she won't hurt you. When I never laid a hand on nobody, but I think it was in my eyes,
It's the intimidation. Hmm.
Yes.
like,
It's your aura.
Yep.
thank you. Oh, so sweet. Danica, you're so sweet. Goodness. But talking about auras and just our beauty inside and out, I have to commend you, girl, on those braids. Those
Ooh.
are fire. I think the last time I saw you had all pink. So how did that transition come about? Because I love both, but I'm really digging these braids right now.
Yes, yes. I felt like I started seeing a lot of women with pink hair, and I felt like I was the original,
Okay.
pink hair. And
Right.
it started pissing me off. I'm like, something needs to change.
Okay.
Like I kept losing at Defy.
Hmm.
My personality didn't matter. The like this baby face persona, it wasn't working for me, and so I needed to change everything, and that included my look. And
Mhm.
so I started out with dyeing half my hair silver, and it didn't come out silver, it turned out like green or blue.
Oh,
Oh
And
oh,
I was
wow.
like, no, no, this
Yeah.
is not
Nope. It's
it.
not working.
Yeah, so I had to do it again. And then I was actually going to do like a bunch of French braids with hair. And then it just wasn't working out. So I asked my sister, yeah, she's the one that did this.
Shout out to your
wow.
sister.
Kudos
Shout
to
out
Yes,
to your
your
sister.
sister. Yo,
Right.
yes.
sis, if where's she at? Washington? Because I'm gonna need a hookup, girl, because you had your sister looking right. I'm gonna need your number.
Yes, I like I said, my family is very supportive. My other sister taught me how to do makeup because I didn't know how. And then this sister, she did my hair. She ended up braiding one of them so we could see how it looked. And I was like, yes, this is it. And so then that's just where the braids had come from. And I've always like loved cornrows and braids. And so I was like, let's try it. And I loved it.
There you go.
Yes, I love it. I mean, so here's my question to you. I love how versatile women are in this industry, meaning we our gimmicks can be so, what's the word I'm looking for? Let's see, to help me out. You know what I'm always thinking when I'm trying to think of something.
Like what? Just
Come on, husband. You should
the
know.
adapting. No, I mean like it's in women's wrestling as a whole. Like, I'm just from a guy's perspective. You ladies do it right because you know how to hone in on the characters and just really make it relatable.
Yep.
The versatility is crazy because you can be one way. You know, like we meet you this way, but like in 2 minutes you flip, and it's just like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And I say for men it's much harder. But you know, it's just like it's just that second nature, and it's a good thing to see in the women's wrestling right now.
Yes. I agree with that. I feel like it's a lot of our our emotions and hormones as well. Like I feel like that's just how I am. 1 minute I'm happy, the next I'm pissed off.
I mean, hey.
That is it. I mean,
and you just draw it out.
Yeah, I think it's because we're so much more in touch with our emotions. Not saying men aren't, but I think it takes a bit more for them to kind of tap into that that part of themselves. Where for us women, it's always there because it's always part of us. We're always operating from within our psyche, if you will. So I commend you on just being a woman in this industry and wanting to be in it, wanting to make a difference in it, and just kicking ass. I swear, like I just love women's wrestling. It just brings a smile to my face. I don't know why. It just makes me cheese. Every time we just finished Women's Month, and there were so many women, I couldn't fit all of you guys into the month, but guarantee it's going to happen again. But just every woman we've had on, I've just been smiling and cheating because it's just like all of y'all are badasses, and I just love each and every one of y'all. I crush up on every one of y'all. I want to carry your belt to the ring at PCW. I'm putting in the petition now. I'm be a little belt girl. I'll just go be holding the belt like, yeah, like, you see the belt? You see the belt? I'll be there. I'm gonna be there. Okay, I ask a question. I didn't ask a question, did I?
No, I mean,
yeah, I don't got a question. Go ahead.
all right. Well, here. So this is a shout out to our champion. You know, $1 Million Mac. Now, this is going to be a Mount Rushmore question. And who in the women's wrestling right now? Who would you say are your 4 biggest influences?
I definitely love old school wrestling. That's more of what I've been watching. It's hard for me to follow along in the storylines because there's so many and I have to look for them. But Lita for sure. China definitely opened up a lot of opportunities for women. Mickie James, for sure. I love her. She's super nice in person as well. Doesn't act like you're. Yes.
That's
yes.
awesome.
That's cool.
That's 3. And one of my, I have to say, AJ Lee was one of my favorites. Is that good?
You don't hear often. That's a good thing. That is not a name we hear often, but that's respect right there.
I loved her craziness. I loved her skipping out. I just absolutely loved everything about her.
Okay.
She was awesome. I loved her too. Like, yes.
That's dope. All right. Well, I got another question. So we got PCW, we got Defy. What other promotions are you currently in?
I'm currently doing the Midget Wrestling Warriors. You can call them midgets. They love it. I know it's hard.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable saying that. I'm just like,
I was like, politically correct now. You know how society is sometimes.
It's so hard. Yeah, they say little people, micro.
Yes, yeah. I'm like, which one is it? I'm like,
but this promotion for sure. They also do get a lot of heat for using that name, but most of the time it's heat from not even from people like them. So
okay.
It is what it is.
We can always make everybody happy. So
trying to control the narrative, you know. Oh, that was not a shout out to that promotion.
I mean, we didn't say it in that light, but okay, I get it.
I'm a hush now. Yeah. So I'm Professor. I'm gonna take your question only because I haven't asked the question. I've been running my mouth.
Okay.
But Danica, here is one of our closing questions usually that we have for our guests, and it usually stumps a lot of people. But here's the question: when you hang up your boots, when your career is over, when you decide it's over, what is the legacy you wish to leave?
I definitely would like to leave an impact on women and not only women, but mainly my focus is on women.
Right.
And just let them know that they can do anything. And uh, I want it to be more open and more things because, like, wrestling wasn't, I didn't know anything about it before. These aren't really things that you feel or like women get to see growing up and think that they can do. Um, so as long as I help somebody, or I hopefully more than one person, as long as I can help a couple people
Mhm.
and let them realize their dream, let them feel free, let them understand that we all have a past, we've all are victim to things, and that doesn't define you, that doesn't make you. You can overcome that, and you will overcome it. And and that they can do that really.
That's
It's a
powerful.
great legacy. Yeah, that's a great purpose to have. A lot of people don't usually, I don't think, come into the industry with a purpose, but after every match, after every exposure, that purpose builds on itself. So I commend you for that, for figuring that out so soon and working towards it. So for me, I want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you on behalf of all of us that did not even remotely think of wanting to get into wrestling, but love the sport, love the art form. Thank you for being courageous and going out there and kicking ass and doing it. And maybe when we meet in person, you can show me some moves. Um,
No, don't do
I'll show you some moves. All
Oh,
right.
come on. I'm just stressing out over here.
Come
Jeez.
on, come on.
so I'm excited. Go ahead, LL, take it, take it.
All right. Well, Danica, like on behalf of the whole Ringside family, we definitely appreciate having you on. Like we say, once you're on, your family. So just remember, we always got you. And my thing is before we get out of here, what's next for you? What's upcoming? What do you got in the works?
Yes, I'm actually going to New York this Friday to go wrestle with Heart Legacy Wrestling combined with Midget Wrestling Warriors.
Mhm.
Yes.
That sounds
And
fun.
then I'll also be in Texas for WrestleMania weekend.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'll be wrestling for DFW and Zello for
Nice.
the first time. So I'm very excited. And
Okay.
then I'll also be doing a signing with myself, Rikishi, and Viva. And Rikishi needs to stay between us because we still have some heat.
Oh,
Ooh, is this
oh,
going to be on Instagram
okay,
Live or something?
okay.
Is there a way I can
Hmm.
watch this? Because I'm pretty sure that's going to be more exciting than the pre-show for WrestleMania.
Oh,
Pop
yeah.
that. Yeah, I want to second that. Yeah.
There is also another event coming up that we gotta promote.
Yes.
Yep.
As you guys can see, the card is stacked for PC Ultras Friday, May 13th, a new beginning. Just Danica herself is going to be there.
Yep.
Like you just heard, Viva Van's going to be there. So uh, tune in. You do not want to miss that. Tickets are still available, but it might sell out soon.
Go to
Happening.
eventbrite.com if you want to get
Yes.
those tickets because they will sell fast.
Yep,
Hmm.
very, very fast. Very
Yep.
fast. If you want to meet us, the Ringside Mayhem family, we will be there. You might cop some merch. You heard it here first. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Get a chance to meet us, get a picture with us. By the way, Danica, if you're there, we would appreciate a photo op with you. And the belt, like I said.
She really wants to hold that belt. I'm
Yes.
just.
Yeah.
I
as long as you get it back.
Oh, you'll
yeah,
get it back.
we'll make sure you get the belt back. Trust me, we'll make sure you get the belt back.
I can't pawn it. Everyone's gonna know what it is.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you guys will be able to see me beat Viva again.
There you go.
That'll be great.
Again.
Well, Danica, how do if people want to get a hold of you on social media, how do we do that? Where do we find you?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram, Danika Della Rouge. I got my account back, thankfully.
Woo!
And on Twitter, Danika D Rouge, and Facebook page, Danika Della Rouge as well.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, listeners, you heard it here. That's how you're gonna get a hold of her. But there's Danica. Then if you want to check us out, follow us on Facebook, Ringside Mayhem Podcast, Twitter, RSM Mayhem Pod, IG, Ringside Mayhem Pod. And Rose, how do they get a hold of us on YouTube? How do we do that?
On YouTube, listen carefully to my instructions. Comment, like, share, subscribe to SSAWTV and Ringside Mayhem Pod TV, and go ahead and click, or you know what, ring the bell.
Ring the bell. I was gonna say.
Ding, ding, ding. You know what I mean? Ring that bell so you can get updated on new episodes, some clips, some tips, because some things that come out of my mouth, sometimes I don't remember. So it's on TV now, and I got to be careful what I say. So go ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channels, and join us where the mayhem goes.
Yeah.